projects that were awarded prize under the Excellence in District Level Initiatives. So let me extend my heartfelt gratitude and welcome our esteemed speakers. Firstly, our speaker is Srimati Rukmani Riyar Sihag. She is IS officer of 2012 batch, Rajasthan cadre. She is presently serving as DM and DC of Hanumangarh district. Prior to that, she had served as DM and DC of Sri Ganganagar and Bundi districts, CEO of Dungarpur district, and Assistant Commissioner at Tribal Area Development. She also did her SDMship at Banswara district in Rajasthan. She has been facilitated with several awards in her career, such as Best Electoral Practices Award, Certificate of Appreciation for Excellent Work in Executing Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao, Best Court Judgment as District Collector, and Certificate of Merit by State Government, and Child Champion Award for making Anganwadis holistic centers of preschool learning. As CEO in Dungarpur, she led the efforts to make tribal region of Dungarpur 100% open defecation free under Swachh Bharat mission. Our second speaker for the day is Shri Chetan K. Nandani. Shri Nandani is presently serving as Director and CEO at Rajkot Municipal Corporation. Nandani ji has more than 25 years of experience in multidisciplinary areas, along with the core competency in finance and municipal administration. He has led several projects in greenfield development, lake rejuvenation, smart infrastructure development, security and surveillance, and traffic and transit management in Rajkot Municipal Corporation. So before I invite our speakers to showcase their respective initiatives, I'll request the team to kindly play the movie on their initiatives.
गंग कैनाल रेगुलेशन कंप्यूटराइजेशन प्रोजेक्ट को 2022 के नेशनल ई गवर्नेंस के तहत स्वर्ण पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया जा रहा है। इस एप्लीकेशन की मदद से जिले के किसानों को गंग नहर में पानी की आपूर्ति का समय, मात्रा, भविष्य में नहरों के खुलने और बंद होने सहित सभी जरूरी जानकारी मिलती है, जिससे किसानों को सिंचाई के लिए सही समय चुनने में मदद मिल रही है।
गंगानगर में जो भी खेती होती है उसका पानी सिंचाई का कैनाल से आता है। गंग कैनाल 1927 में गंगानगर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में आई थी और तब से आज तक पानी का जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है वो एक मैनुअल रेगुलेशन पैटर्न से किया जाता था। हमने स्काडा के इस्टेब्लिशमेंट के साथ अपने कंप्यूटराइज्ड डेटाबेस को लिंक किया और एक एप्लीकेशन बनाई जो हमारे किसानों ने अपने फ़ोन पे डाउनलोड की। उस एप्लीकेशन में हमारे किसानों को अब ये पता लग जाता है कि पंजाब से कितना पानी आ रहा है और कौन कौन सी कैनाल में वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो रहा है। ना केवल उनको ये पता लगता है कि पानी की संख्या और मात्रा क्या है, बट उनको ये भी पता लगता है कि ये जो पानी है वो कब आगे और खुलेगा और कब बंद होगा। हमने एक मैनुअल आर्केइक सिस्टम को डिजिटलाइज किया और उसको कंप्यूटराइज करके एक ट्रांसपेरेंसी का काम किया, जिससे जिले के अब 40,000 से ज़्यादा किसान जुड़े हुए हैं।
नगर जिला प्रशासन वालों गंग नहर की एक जो ऐप बनाई है बहुत वधिया चल रहा है काम जी। हर किसान को घर बैठे जानकारी मिल रही है पानी के उतार चढ़ाव की।
ऐप और जो वेबसाइट है उससे ये सर हमें ये फ़ायदा हुआ कि हमें जो पानी की बारी है उसके संबंध में हमें पूर्व में जानकारी मिल जाती है कि कौन सी नहर चल रही है, कौन सी बंद है। गंग कैनाल की जितनी भी ब्रांच है उनका हमें समय समय पर पता लगता रहता है। अपडेशन भी हमारे पास समय समय पर आता रहता है।
गंग कैनाल ऐप का सानू किसानों में बहुत फायदा होया। जिवें मैं देख रही बाग ला रखे है तो हॉर्टिकल्चर या ड्रिप सिस्टम के बारे में जानकारी प्राप्त हुई। हॉर्टिकल्चर की कदम निमित्त
Cities have always been the growth engine of Gujarat. Rajkot, often referred to as Rangilu Rajkot, is a city of colorful, vibrant and lively people. Rajkot Municipal Corporation conceptualized the citizen grievance redressal system to ensure efficient, effective and accountable service delivery to its citizens. It also aimed to promote better citizen engagement to bridge the trust deficit that normally exists between ULBs and public. This has been done by putting in place a robust feedback mechanism with focus on quality, timeliness of service delivery and staff behavior. Salient features of the grievance redressal system are aggregation of complaints from various modes of complaint registration. The complaints are registered through 24/7 toll-free number, RMC mobile application, RMC web portal, WhatsApp chatbot, integrated command and control center, and ward offices and civic centers. All these are brought onto the single resolution platform and are then processed in an organized manner, giving a holistic picture. Geo-referencing of complaint registration and resolution. The complaints registered through the mobile app are geo-referenced and their resolution can only be done by the staff within a 20 meters radius of the place where the complaint was registered. This ensures accountability in the resolution of the complaints. Geo-referenced photographs are also available for random inspection by senior officials. Escalation to higher authority. The grievance redressal system has an escalation matrix built into the system. In case any complaint is not solved within the designated time frame, referred to as the service level agreement, it automatically escalates to the next higher official and the complaint cannot be marked as resolved without the approval of the officer to whom the application has been escalated to. Similar escalation happens in case the complainant expresses dissatisfaction and chooses to reopen the complaint. The system incorporates multiple escalations up to the level of the municipal commissioner. OTP-based verification of complaint resolution. To ensure that complaints are actually solved on the ground as and when an employee marks a complaint as resolved, an SMS is sent to the complainant specifying a 4-digit OTP, and the complaint is only closed once the complainant gives the OTP to the employee. Star rating and feedback mechanism. To ensure better engagement of ULB staff and citizens, feedback from complainant is taken on various aspects such as staff behavior, quality of work, etc. And based on the feedback, a star rating of the departments and staff is done. This ensures motivation and competition to perform better.
One area that we felt required immediate intervention was that a trust deficit existed between the ULB employees and the citizens. The ULB employees felt that however hard they work, public never appreciated their work and was largely critical of their work. There was a general perception in the public that RMC staff is lethargical or slow in its work. So we started these two basic concepts. One, an OTP would be required to be punched in while closing a complaint, and a robust feedback mechanism. And somehow both these initiatives, they brought public and RMC staff closer. It increased accountability. It sort of acted as a bridge in increasing their engagement.
Detailed data analysis for decision support. RMC handles about 30,000 complaints per month. The enormous data is analyzed to identify focus areas and departments where intervention is required. This also helps RMC to plan effectively and ensure systematic improvements in service delivery. Due to introduction of the grievance redressal system, the number of complaints solved within 48 hours has increased from 61% to 77% in the last year. The number of complainants from whom positive feedback has been received has been steadily increasing and currently stands at 89% of the complaints, which shows the increasing citizen satisfaction.
पहले जब हम आरएमसी में कंप्लेंट करते थे तो हमें कंप्लेंट के स्टेटस के बारे में पता नहीं चलता था। ये नया OTP सिस्टम डेवलप होने के बाद में जब हमारी कंप्लेंट सॉल्व होती है तो हमें OTP मिलता है जो RMC के अधिकारी हमसे पूछते हैं। अगर काम सही में कंप्लीट हुआ होता है तो ही हम ये OTP उनके साथ शेयर करते हैं। काम खत्म होने के बाद में हमसे RMC के कर्मचारी फोन पे या तो SMS के द्वारा लिंक से फीडबैक मांगते हैं। ये फीडबैक होता है काम की क्वालिटी के बारे में, काम कितने समय में कंप्लीट हुआ है इसके बारे में और स्टाफ के बिहेवियर के बारे में। इसके लिए हम 1 से 5 में रेटिंग देते हैं। ये नया सिस्टम आने के बाद में हमारी सहूलियत एक्चुअल में बढ़ गई है, काम काफ़ी क्विकली हो रहा है और हमको काम का स्टेटस इजीली मिल जाता है।
Rajkot Municipal Corporation is committed to continuously improve service delivery to its citizens and shall continue to do so with the use of eGovernance.
Those were two very good movies. Now I'll request Srimati Rukmani Dayal Sihag, DC Hanumangarh, to kindly make her presentation on Gang Canal computerization project. Ma'am, it's up to you.
Morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. And thank you for this opportunity to make the presentation. If the PPT could be put up, please. So this initiative is regarding Ganganagar's Gang Canal regulation system. We tried to regularize the canal irrigation system. Like it was told in the video before, that the canal irrigation system started in 1927 and it passes through 23 networks of canal through the district. Next. The water is coming from Pong and Bhakra Dam, and although BBMC, which is Bhakra Board Management Committee, it decides the amount of water that Rajasthan will receive. Yet there are daily variations in the water levels depending on the water being distributed to Haryana and Punjab and Himachal. So we decided that this whole entire system needed to be computerized, and not just computerized, but also the farmers need to know every day the amount of water that will be coming in into the district so that they could plan their cropping patterns accordingly. Ganganagar is an arid place, but due to these canals, it has gained its name as the granary of Rajasthan. The maximum agriculture activities happen in this district in Rajasthan. And 90% of the people of the district are dependent on agriculture for their livelihood. So in the Gang Canal network, 1.5 lakh farmers are there who are dependent completely on canal water for their agriculture purposes. A mobile application was devised whereby the SCADA's data was linked to the mobile app, and every farmer could now access the information of amount of water that is flowing into the district on a real-time basis. Not just that, they could also click on their canal and get to know when the canal will close and when it will reopen. So earlier what used to happen is that the water used to come, the variations used to happen, and the farmers used to get that information through newspapers, which led to a 24-hour gap. And sometimes the information that was shared on the newspaper also used to vary in reality, because by the time that information was already sent in the newspaper, there was a change in the water level from Haryana or Punjab respectively. Sometimes it would also lead to law and order situations whereby a farmer would have planned his canal irrigation and next day he would get to know that water has not come today or the water level has gone down, so his canal will not be watered today. And he used to feel that something irregular has happened or a favoritism is there in the system whereby somebody else has been benefited and his bari, as they say, that is his chance of getting water, has been cut to benefit another person. So there was a dire need for a fair, transparent information system. So what we did is that not just we created a portal, we also put in the basic information on the portal regarding the knowledge of different crops, cotton, wheat, mustard being the major cropping pattern of Ganganagar. We also put the different types of diseases and the knowledge thereof on the portal. The mandi prices were also shared with farmers on the portal, and the weather forecast for one full week used to be shared on the app so that more farmers use the application. Government of India schemes and the state government schemes related to agriculture departments were also shared on the application. Next. So initially, this is the situation before the initiative was there. There was a gauge reader who used to manually note down the reading every 3 hours. Then he used to just put it in a register. The register used to be sent to the dealing clerk. The dealing clerk used to record the register and send it to JE and AEN, who used to then manually make a water regulation chart. And that used to be then shared with the farmer through newspaper or offline through their offices. What we did is that we started taking the water level being measured by SCADA computerized system, and we started taking that system not for just the use of officers, but we started making the charts prepared through computers and being shared with the end user on a real-time basis. Next. This shows the way our website was designed. For example, you could see that 2400 is showing that this is the amount of cubic of water that we were supposed to get as per BBNC committee's guidelines. 2169, farmers used to know that we are getting less water as it is committed. So they would know that there is no discrepancy that is being done at district level, but it is just that the water level that is coming to us is less than our share. And 2016 is being distributed after the losses. So everybody in the district would know the amount of water coming in, the water that is being distributed, and the canals that are going to open today. Next. Next. You could see that this is how the application worked. We could see the amount of water coming in, and this ML, MLA, Y, HF, these are the names of the canal. The green in front shows that this canal is running, and if the canal is closed, it will be red in front of that. Next. As you can see in this, and suppose somebody from the Sameja canal wants to know that when the canal will close down and when it will reopen, that information is also given through the application. Next. You can also see that it was an application which was made in trilingual language base because of English, Hindi and Punjabi being the prominent languages being spoken in the region, so that it could reach more number of people and be used by all the farmers of the district. Next. Next. These are the camps. We named them Prashashan Gaon Ke Sang Abhiyan. We went to every village and we helped them to scan this application on their mobile phone. We made it for Android, and later with the demand of the people, we also made it for Apple-based systems. QR codes were designed and the farmers were helped to download the application, and they were trained how to use it for their benefit. Next. With time, when we started taking the customer feedback of how we can further improve the system, we were told by the farmers that they would rather also appreciate if like a WhatsApp notification can reach to them as to that today your canal will open and this time your canal will close. So that will be more beneficial to them. And all because the system would have been too expensive for us, we came across the Sandesh app by Government of India, which is a free messaging service. So we backend connected our application with the Sandesh application, and all the farmers started getting messages from us proactively. So for example, tomorrow a canal would open. So today we would send the message to our farmers that this canal will open. So you could plan your cropping activity accordingly. And because within no time we had about 40 lakh farmers, 40,000 farmers joining our portal, we started also sending them messages about the various government schemes, the agriculture-based innovations that were happening in the district, and also the agriculture budget provisions that were being circulated through government to all the farmers of the district. Next. We could see that because of this activity, we had significant improvement in Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, in Kisan Samman Nidhi, the Kinu, which is one of the major fruiting crop that is in the district. It was very interesting that only 437 farmers used to do the weather-based insurance when we started off with this project, and it rose to 5,000 plus farmers within a span of 6 months who started getting benefit of the weather-based crop insurance scheme. Similarly, for soil health card, we rose from 1,249 to 16,250 farmers during the span of our initiative. Next. We also popularized the state agriculture schemes for micro irrigation, for leaching, for also drip irrigation, plastic mulching, solar pumps. And we saw that farms, the number of farmers who were taking benefit of our state government schemes also improved drastically, as shown in these graphs here. Next. The most important issue that we thought was resolved through this initiative was impact on the reduction of public grievances. Earlier, like I said, that the issue of changing fluctuation in the water levels led to a lot of law and order situations. Now, because there was information which was given on real-time basis, and the information was also given in a manner where the farmers could verify it with each other and the office also. That led to transparency in the way the government was working, which led to number of complaints related to water regulation, the theft of water, and corruption involved significantly. And you could see that water regulation issues, there was 64% reduction during the time of this project. The farmers' issues related to fixing of turn, that is the amount of water they'll receive, when they will receive in a canal, it also drastically got down by 71%. There were also earlier a lot of complaints on theft of water. If somebody wouldn't get water, they would think that it has been stolen by somebody else, rather than knowing that there has been change in the fluctuation due to incoming water in the district. So that also got down by 70%. So a significant public grievance reduction was seen due to the initiative that was done. Next. These are the appreciation and tweets we received, but most important of them was the one that came from the farmer associations. I think the biggest appreciation is also when the person that you're working for, the end user, when they get up and say that this is something that has happened, which is good for them and must continue. So we were very happy that this happened. And also because the farmers were connected to their bordering district farmers, so they shared this with farmers of Punjab, next, and Hanumangarh district. And we had teams from Punjab and other districts to come there and wanting to replicate this project. And I'm glad to share that the replication of the same has already happened in 2 other districts. This is also something that can be used for disaster management. With time, we realize, because people who are living in flood-prone areas, it will be useful for them who can use this application to know the level of water in the dam, and when there is a serious levels that have been breached and they need to evacuate. So it is a local level initiative, but it does have scope of replication across different districts in other parts of the country, wherever there is irrigation which is canal based, or there is a need for information to be shared with people who live in low-lying areas or flood-prone areas. Thank you. This was the initiative that was appreciated by the Government of India, and I'm thankful once again for the opportunity given to me today.
Thank you, Rukmani ji. That was a very interesting and very innovative project. And we'll go to the question and answer session subsequently. Let's listen our second speaker as of now, and then we'll take up the Q&A sessions together. Okay. So now I'll request Shri Chetan K. Nandani ji, Director and CEO and Deputy Municipal Commissioner of Rajkot Municipal Corporation, Gujarat, to kindly make his presentation on OTP and feedback-based public grievance redressal system. It's over to you, Nandani ji.
Unmute अपने आप को, please unmute.
You have to unmute, Nandani ji. You have to first unmute.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
माइक ऑन करिए सर, आपका माइक म्यूट है. प्लीज अनम्यूट. Sir, please speak.
I think there is some technical error. I'll rejoin. I think I'll rejoin. Now it is okay? My voice is...
Yeah, you are audible, please. Please start.
Thank you.
Nandana ji.
Sir, please speak.
Yeah. No, can you share the presentation from your...
Sir, we are sharing from our side. Just you start.
Nandani ji, if there is some technical issue, we can have the question answer session for the previous session now, and you can join back after logging out once, if it is okay with you. We can go back to the previous project, and if it is convenient to you.
Yeah. Please do.
Yeah, sure. So what we'll do, we'll have the question answer session for the previous session now. I'll request Madam Rukmani Sihag. Ma'am, if she is here, like my first question would be, she is here.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So, ma'am, like it was a very interesting presentation and a very useful project that you mentioned. I just have two questions. Firstly, like you mentioned that messages are conveyed in 3 languages. So I want to understand the technology behind this initiative, whether there is a translation or transliteration going at the back end, or you are sending message in 3 different languages. So one thing is like the message is given in one code and then it is converted to other 2 languages. So that's a technology innovation. Or are we sending messages in 3 different languages? That is my first question. Yeah, please.
So the app was made in trilingual basis. So anybody who was downloading it could select at that time the language in which they want to download. And while we were using the app also, we could change the language in which we want the interaction to be in.
Okay, right. Okay. And my second question, ma'am, is you mentioned that there is a process in which the volume and the water which is being dispatched, that can be conveyed. And then there is a separate arrangement with the interaction with the Sandesh app. So how is this integration being done? How is the technology being dealt at the first stage? When we are the water and the volume is measured and it is conveyed, and how is this integration with the Sandesh done? Can you speak about the technology intervention?
So what we did is through NIC, we developed this application. And like I said, we went to every village and asked the farmers to join our application. So when they were joining at the back end, we divided our farmers into whichever the canal they are benefiting from. For example, the farmers on F canal, we separated from farmers on Y canal, then farmers of BB canal. So now when we had to send messages, we knew that the message which is related to, for example, the B canal, Those are the farmers who will be interested in this message. So we would send through Sandesh, because that backend data we already had. So bulk messages were sent to those farmers that now tomorrow B canal will open at say 10 a.m. and close after 7 days at 7 p.m. So because we had segregated the data that we already had in our application in the backend, and based on that segregated data, we used to send messages for whomever that message was relevant. Other thing is that there are messages which were relevant for everybody. For example, information regarding, for example, the weather-based crop insurance scheme. Those messages were sent to everybody whose numbers we had through backend in our application. So.
I'll request the audience and the people who have participating in the audience, if they can ask some question, they must be having a series of questions. So it's open to you. Everyone can raise a question if they are interested to.
Ma'am, whether any study has been made, what effect has this e-governance innovation made on the cropping pattern and also output?
So not on the cropping pattern, but there is a general satisfaction amongst farmers. A study has been conducted on the grievance redressal and the satisfaction of the farmers with respect to their interaction with the department. In that, a significant improvement has been seen, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, as you mentioned that you went to villages to onboard the farmers on the app, but did you face any obstacle while onboarding due to financial and digital illiteracy?
Not really, because there were some of the people in our team also who were apprehensive initially regarding the acceptance of technological innovation by the farmers. But we were very surprised that they were more enthusiastic than us also. They were more keen. Actually, some of the suggestions, for example, linking it to Sandesh app was not part of the original plan. It came back only from a feedback from the farmers that they like to get messages. Also, very interestingly, we had only designed an Android-based application, and because some of the areas were very progressive, the farmers came up with this request that we should also design for the Apple version, and our NIC team wasn't that equipped to design the Apple version, so they also sat down and took online course to learn how to design an application for Apple-based system. So I feel that sometimes we think that the people or our end users are not as enthusiastic with respect to technology, but I feel that if you're bringing in transparency in governance, you're bringing in fairness, then the people themselves are more keen than we really think they are. So we did not face any hassle at all. Plus also this whole application was free of cost. So our pitch to the farmers was, you download it, start using it, and if you think it's of no use, you delete it after a month. So, but we saw that with time, the numbers kept rising, and that was very satisfying. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
One more question, Rukmani ji. This is regarding the branding of the app. So, do we get to download it in the name of Ganga Canal Computerization Project or as Sandesh app? If we have to download from, let's say...
Sir, Ganga Canal, if you want to get Sandesh messages, then sir, they downloaded Sandesh separately, sir. So backend data was joined, but it wasn't integrated with our application. So Ganga Canal is giving us all information, but if they wanted messages from us, we encourage them to download the Government of India Sandesh application also.
Okay, thank you, because this is critical component which I was trying to gather till now. So basically we have to have two things working in tandem, and that should be...
Yes, sir.
Right. Excellent. Okay. Thank you, Rukmaniji. Thanks for your very wonderful and innovative project and presentation. So,
I have one question.
Yeah, please.
See, the data that is going to the people is, of course, it's useful for them for agriculture. But don't you think it's a very vital and very important data which will be shared online, and it can be of some detrimental thing can happen? It may fall into wrong hands.
Not at all, ma'am. Instead, ma'am, I feel that, for example, we put in money to put SCADA in our different canals. Now that information was coming to the district collector कि आपके जिले में इतना पानी आ रहा है, आज इतना कम हो गया, आज इतना बढ़ गया. But that information is only to me. Actually, that information is more useful for the end user. He needs to know whether water has reduced or increased, and why it has reduced and why it has increased. I personally feel that it is not in data that probably could be used for any wrongdoing. Instead, it just creates more faith of people in the governance, that if a canal has been closed by the administration, why it has been closed. Not because it has been done at their own level with their own whims and fancies, but because they do not have adequate water to distribute in a particular canal now.
If there are no further questions, then we'll go back to Shri Nandani ji, Director and CEO, Deputy Municipal Corporation of RMC, Gujarat. Nandani ji, it's over to you, please.
Good morning. Can you please load the presentation from your side? I think there is some technical issue from my side. Thank you. Good morning, all seniors. Next slide, please. The Rajkot Municipal Corporation is a municipal corporation. We serve 184 kilometer area, and our population is 20 lakh. We are governed by Gujarat Municipal Corporation Act. And what makes municipal corporations unique in Gujarat and Maharashtra is that there are more number of services which we do in the city compared vis-a-vis other municipal corporations. So at Rajkot, we have about 40 different services. And that would naturally give rise to a lot of grievances, especially grievance related to polluted water being distributed, or a dead animal lying outside someone's house or office, or sewerage overflowing for more than a very long time, or sweeping not done. These are very basic things, but they irritate people a lot. And we had a 24/7 call center since 2005, but somehow we found that that application had outlived its utility, and we were not getting the desired results. Especially there were also a very large number of wrong complaints being lodged, and even wrong false resolutions being lodged, and that somehow was giving us a very wrong picture of what was happening in the city. Again, there was a very huge trust deficit between citizens and the employees of municipal corporation. So we redesigned this app, and we tried to ensure that the grievance turnaround time is reduced, and even they are actually executed on ground. So there are few objectives which we had initially. That was multiple citizen-friendly options to register the grievances, auto escalation, requirement of PIN from complaint, feedback mechanism, option to reopen the grievances, and the remnant of monitoring by RMC officials. Next slide, please. In fact, we wanted to ensure that each and every complaint should come in our data. And we found that many of the complaints were not coming. So we ensured that there are multiple channels which facilitate registration of a grievance. So 24/call center was already there. Our website was already there. Mobile application was something very handy for all citizens, and it is now getting more wider acceptance. Even WhatsApp chatbot we started a year back, and it is giving us more better results because people are more familiar with WhatsApp, and they found it more friendly or easy to register their grievance on the WhatsApp chatbot. Then we define SLA for each complaint type. Maybe say for example, if there is a polluted water, or if there is a sewage overflowing, dead animal lying, waste not collected from a house via door-to-door collection, those should be done within 24 hours. Other complaints would take maybe 48 hours or depends on their. We also georeferenced the complaints, many of them. The reason for it was during resolutions, number one, there was a confusion in the staff regarding the exact location of the site. And there was a possibility of a wrong resolution. Maybe there is a complaint of one particular street. They will solve complaint of another street and probably launch a photograph. So to ensure accountability and to ensure that the grievances are actually resolved on ground, we georeference them. And there is a issue of portal escalation. Fourth is the requirement of a PIN. This was very innovative move, because earlier there was a disconnect between citizens and the employees. So employees never used to contact the citizens, try to understand the grievance and then resolve it. Now we made requirement of a PIN mandatory from all the citizens for critical complaints like polluted water, solid waste management complaints, and likewise. What happens is when an employee resolves the complaint on the portal, he has to mandatorily approach the citizen and get a PIN. And what happens, the conversations which were not happening between citizens and employees started happening when they used to meet them to get the PIN. Then we also introduced the feedback mechanism and star rating. Feedback mechanism was for the services and for the employees also. Maybe say services of water supply or sewerage or street lights or public gardens, likewise. And the rating for employees also. So a sanitary inspector or a water supply fitter or even an engineer, when they used to approach citizens for complaint, they used to show their identities. And citizens had an option to rate them, whether their behavior was polite, whether they took in interest in them, likewise. We also introduced random verification by officials. So that ensured that we had all the grievances at our fingertips. And the senior officials, even the deputy commissioners, have to visit the wards and ensure that they personally meet citizens, few of them every month, and ensure that the grievances are resolved. And what happens is the officials understand the cause of the grievances. Next slide, please. This is a very simple system flow. I have already explained earlier. Next slide, please. So the first level is the supervisory level. Those are basically engineers on field. The second layer would be the HOD or the assistant municipal commissioner or a deputy engineer or a city engineer. Third level would be deputy municipal commissioner or our city. What we do is we usually first thing in the morning is we open the app and see what are the complaints which have crossed their SLAs. So that gives us a very quick snapshot of what is happening in the wards in the city. So we can definitely try and contact the employees or the concerned vendors why the grievances are not being resolved. And even if there is no resolution at our level, the municipal commissioner has access to all the unresolved complaints. Next slide, please. The impact of the initiative was enormous. As discussed earlier, citizens were already at the center. It was easy to lodge the complaint via WhatsApp and mobile app. What happened was that our turnaround time, which was earlier almost 3 days, reduced to almost 24 hours for critical complaints. And that reduced the trust deficit and that increased the brand equity of the municipal corporation. Another important thing we did was we started analyzing the grievances. Earlier, it was never done. So we tried to understand why a particular ward or a particular street had a very high number of complaints, say for a sewage overflow, or there is a polluted water repeatedly happening at a particular place. And then we started improving our maintenance policies, our maintenance strategies, and that probably led us to understand the issues better, and also that helped us to take any capital expenditure decisions wherever required. Maybe a pipe is to be replaced, or a new water meter is to be replaced, or a vendor needs to be replaced, vendor is not working properly. And that gave us a lot of insight into what was actually happening in the city. And overall, it increased the trust and satisfaction from all the citizens. Next slide, please. This is a snapshot view of the number of complaints. You will see a steep high in, say, June and July, which are basically monsoon months. And basically the complaints are of waterlogging and sewage not being disposed properly. Initially, we thought that we would get a very negative feedback. That was our perception. But surprisingly, the feedback level is more than 60% satisfactory. Almost it is 70% satisfactory all over the months. So that increased the motivation among the employees that citizens really care to give positive feedback if they do it right. Next slide, please. Way forward, we are basically looking for two things. One is we will be integrating our grievance redressal with our enterprise GOS solution, which has been already executed under Smart City, but both of these systems are running parallelly. So we'll try to integrate it. We'll have a tab on the expenditure happening for a particular solution, and we'll also try to link it with the grievances. So whether we'll be able to find out, even if we are putting the capex, whether the grievances have increased or reduced. Another thing is, again, we'll be focusing more on analytics. Probably we'll try to ensure that every grievance is a vital asset for us. In terms of that, we'll try to classify them. And whenever we prepare a budget for a particular year, probably we'll sit with those analyses and try to understand that which wards need better O&M for water supply or sewerage or solid waste or door-to-door collection. Or probably what happens is, in name of grievances, people put a lot of opinions also, that a garden is needed at this place or bus stop is needed at this place. There are no litter bins on this particular road. There are fewer street lights on this road, and so on. So probably we get a lot of inputs of what people actually need for the city. And then we can, for preparation of budgets and all, we can treat those as very golden inputs from citizens and can execute them. Good thing is that this is replicable, and probably we are open to sharing with any urban local authority. We'll give the source code and they can definitely use it as per their convenience. Thank you.
Thank you, Nandani Sahab. And again, this was a very useful and innovative project. And I have two questions on this, and then we'll open the question and answers to other audience also. So my first question is related to the last slide which you made, which is about the replicability. And as you know that we hold this seminars and our awards also, they are geared towards dissemination of best practices. So we also want to support, and we want this to happen, that all these good initiatives should be replicated by other districts, and in your case, let's say other municipal corporations. So you said that you are open to share, but whether so far anyone has approached you to get a version of your application, or could you from your end only go ahead and convey the success to other municipal corporations that we have prepared this and this is an award-winning initiative, so it can be replicated. So how was the response?
Yes, a few, because many ULBs have their own grievance handling system. The advantage we have is that this has been developed in-house. I did not mention it earlier. So there are no issue of ownership or copyrights and all. And one smaller amendments, we can do it very easily through our in-house team. So fewer 2 or 3 local, means nearby ULBs have approached us, and we are in process of sharing the source code with them.
Okay, thank you. And you showed one graph on number of complaints with the month-wise variations. I just want to know how do these numbers vary across previous years? So has there been a declining trend over the years, or the number of complaints has been more or less constant? How do you see the progress over the years?
No, in fact, the complaints have increased. So we take it positively. There are 2 aspects to it. Number one is earlier many complaints were not recorded. So there will be, say, WhatsApp on employees or officials' personal mobile phones, or their official mobile phones, or there will be a written application. Somebody will write a letter to the ward office or a zonal office. So those were earlier not compiled. Now under this initiative, even we have ensured that all the written applications, they are compiled into the system. So our call center makes data entry of all these, and they are given the IDs, and so that and we can also monitor them. So this, due to this, and again due to maybe we think it is because of the increased trust on the municipal corporation. So the number of complaints have in fact increased.
I think this is a positive thing, I should say, because citizens do face inconvenience, and we all know this. So if the number is increasing, that's a positive trend. Basically, they are able to approach you. We have a question from my colleague here, Madam Sarita Taneja ji.
Namaskar, sir. First of all, grievance redressal is certainly a complex area, and at the same time, I appreciate that you have developed a very comprehensive system. I am having 3 questions. The first one is that whether this grievance portal is integrated with the district grievance portal also, so that at the back end you should know that whatever grievances are received on the district portal, they will be shown to your portal also. And the second one is that is there any, can you please elaborate that is there any specific strategy or approach for all the types of complaints, or there is a similar approach or a strategy is adopted for all the for addressing the complaints, and what is the technology especially behind the redressal of grievances and mapping them to the different areas? And the third one is that as we also experience in our department that there are very say they are not even complaints, they are very suggestions, and they are very habitual complaints which are coming recklessly in a way. So what RMC is doing with these kind of complaints, and whether they are being segregated at the initial stages?
Ma'am, first question, in fact, Gujarat, what happens is, in fact, municipal corporations do everything in the city. So the role of district administration is very limited. Usually the habit is that people first approach the municipal corporation for even complaints related to other departments, even railway authorities or airport authorities, or even state transport authorities. So usually, since there was no need to integrate with the district system, because they receive almost 0 complaints which relate to the city. So we have not integrated it. In future, if there is a need of it, we'll certainly do it. That is not an issue. Number 2 is the complaints are definitely segregated. Like say complaints related to polluted water, or overflowing sewage, or a dead animal line. So they are all treated differently. In fact, during monsoons, probably we get complaints regarding houses being flooded with water in few areas, or slums being flooded with water. So there is a question of life and death, and probably we treat it more urgently than the other. So probably each complaint type has a different mechanism to cope with that. And all the complaints are like collected at our software developed in .NET, and then it is sent through SMS by our portal. And again, the feedback is it is resolved by SMS and through our local in-house made portal. And the third thing was the multiple complaints. Probably, in fact, what we have found is if we analyze deeply, usually there are very few wrong complaints. Usually, a person does not waste his energy to give a complaint which is not there. But there may be multiplicity of a complaint. Maybe a street light is not working. So maybe a few residents, they may all complain for it. Or if there is a leakage in a water pipe, maybe there were more than one number of residents may. When we study the complaint, when we read the complaint, we definitely understand that this is just one complaint and probably more people have reacted to it. It's a very normal phenomenon and there is no way we can stop it. So we take it positively and try to resolve all of them.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question from other audience? If we have no more questions, then I'll request Sarita Taneja ji, our Deputy Secretary, to kindly offer the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. As we bring to close the 4th episode of NeGW, it is my absolute honor and privilege to extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you who have participated in this enlightening and transforming journey. First and foremost, my heartfelt gratitude to Shri V. Srinivas Sir, Secretary DRPG, who is incidentally not present with us today, but whose guidance and visionary ideas always paved our way in organizing and shaping the discourse of the National eGov webinar series. I also place on record my gratitude and thanks to Shri Puneet Yadav Sir, JS DRPG, whose guidance and support contributed a lot towards the successful convening of this webinar. I would also like to extend my compliments to the esteemed speakers, Shrimati Rukmani Ma'am and Shri Chetan Nandani Sir. Your presentations have been definitely enlightening, thought-provoking and inspiring, leaving an indelible mark on our understanding of digital governance. Further, I express deep gratitude to all the Chief Secretaries, AR Secretaries, IT Secretaries, Public Administrators, Startups and Institutes who graced the 4th NeGW from various sectors, reflecting a collective commitment to advancing digital governance at district levels. A special acknowledgement and appreciation goes to my colleagues from the department, whose presence always encourages us for better deliverable in our forthcoming endeavors. Last but not the least, I am also very grateful to my team, including Bhatji, Kusum Ma'am, Bhumika, Devesh, Rohit and Bansal ji for their unwavering support in making this event a success. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
Thank you, everyone. We'll close the session.